What? 2 days in a row? Oh, no, 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 no. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. First of all, oi! Having a go at my beats? Oh, Az, you have beats. But it's fair. They're nice. They're good. They're good for the gym. They're good for walking around the house, you know. Singing, I'm so excited, with a Hoover in my hand in the front room. No, not buying it. Okay, I wouldn't either. Right. So, second day in a row. And we've got these little beauties on because we're going to listen to more people making an ass of themselves. But I have to establish something very quickly. We live in really bizarre times, okay? Where a studio can produce a garbage film, admit that they had no plan for said film, for said trilogy even, to be perfectly honest. And so when it came across like a complete and utter mess, because the person who did the second film completely undid everything of the first film, which made the third film have to completely undo a lot of the second film so it could try and do something to wrap up. Needless to say, and I don't want to call it the Skywalker saga, because the last trilogy had nothing to do with the Skywalkers whatsoever. Palpatine saga, yeah, sure. But let's just be honest, it was objectively horrific. And from the first film, The Force Awakens, through to the final film, The Rise of Skywalker, it was just a commercial failure. The first film, which did great business at the box office, about 2.4 billion, something insane like that, did sell some merch, a little bit down on what they hoped, but did sell some merch. By the third film, had barely done over $1 billion, and for what they wanted, trust me, that was horrendous. A film that had gone through all manner of reshoots, and what goodness knows how much it really cost, The Rise of Skywalker, to actually make. And they're not selling any toys. They're not selling any toy products. In actual fact, there was an article the other day, Diamond. Yeah, part of the Diamond distribution for comics as well, but the toy side of it was speaking about no demand. There's no demand by people for Star Wars, current Star Wars product. So why make it if people ain't going to buy it? But we will live in a time where this had mitigated failure on behalf of the studio, on behalf of the writers, directors, whatever you want to levy it at, is somehow the fans' fault. It's somehow our fault when we go, you know that complete and mitigated mess that you just put out, which you yourself say was a bit of a mess because we didn't have any direction. Our fault. We're man babies. We're man children. We're whingers. We're complainers. We're toxic. All this kind of jargon. It's ridiculous, it's pathetic, it's insane, because do you know what we are? We're the customer! We're the customer. I'm looking around for my wallet. Damn it, I thought I had it to hand. I was going to get... Yeah, it's right here. We're the person who does this, opens it up, gets a bit of this out, and spends it on the product. And if we're not happy... we don't bloody do it. And it's our fault. Okay. So, just a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, when I was doing Friday Night Tights with the boys, John Campea's name came up, and I actually defended him. Because I had seen some of his stuff about, let's say about a year or so ago, maybe 18 months, but let's say a year or so ago. And I thought he had some relatively reasoned takes, you know? He didn't seem to be shilling, and he didn't seem to be, in the complete opposite direction. He just seemed to have some reasoned takes, took the information, the evidence that was at hand, and gave his opinion on it. The other people weren't so flattering about him. Maybe they have a better understanding. They've had more exposure to the guy. But anyway, this is his take on what we discussed yesterday when it was announced that there was going to be another female-centric Star Wars project from Harvey Weinstein's ex-personal assistant, who actually worked there for 6 years, but was his personal assistant for 1 year, who went on to an interview with Variety, with some other people, and essentially just said how much of an agenda they have. But this was John's take, and he gets destroyed by his co-host, and it is a magnificent thing to behold. So let's go through it.
Listen. I can already hear the man babies.
Great start, John. Great start. I can already hear the man babies. It's our fault, remember? It's our fault. The direction that Lucasfilm are taking, the fact that they're absolutely bottling everything right now. Everything is just falling apart. Everything that they put out looks agenda-based. Man babies. Okay, good start, John.
Crying about, why is it female-centric? There's an agenda. Listen, let's just put that to bed.
John, when somebody announces a project and they say nothing about the story, nothing about the characters, their pitch to you, the customer who opens up their wallet and gets out the funds and says, yes, I will or I will not. Their pitch is, we're creating a female-centric new series for Disney+. That's agenda, you dummy! It would be just as bad if they came out and said, we're doing a male-centric. So what? What we're interested in is the characters, is the universe that it's set in, the worlds, the jobs of the people, what's going on, what's the plot, what's the story, the antagonist, the protagonist, the antagonist. Not, it's gonna be female-driven. It's gonna be male-driven. It's gonna be hamster-driven. It's going to be amoeba-based life forms-driven. When all you have is a gender or a race or whatever, a colour, a sexuality, that is an agenda. It tells you nothing about what the series is going to be. It's pitching ideology. What? With 9 seconds in.
Not touch on this again, shall we? Listen.
Always good to be dismissive as well. Let me have my say and then it's over. No, John, it's not. It's not. It's open for everybody to discuss and everybody to have an opinion about.
They've already got 3 other series coming that are all male lead, okay? That means...
Doesn't matter! That's not what people are complaining about. People aren't going, ooh, it's just women, I want me men. I want my penis, I don't want my Vargu. People are complaining because Disney are just coming out every single solitary time with an ideology, an agenda. And when they do eventually come out with some sort of bios for the character, we have the complete mess that we've just had with the high as fuck, because you have to be, Republic, when they just went, this is fucking Avar, and she's the best of the besties. Great. She's got no character. Great. Thank you. I now know that I don't have to watch the film or read the books or whatever it's going to be. Watch the cartoons. Whatever it's going to be. I know, thank you, now that I don't have to watch it. Great. That sounds like a great character. Best of the 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 best. Wonderful. Meanwhile, she's got 2 girls hanging on and 2 guys that can just go piss off somewhere in the corner and go teach. Great. Okay. I've got it set. 2 guys doing tossle. 3 women just being amazeballs. Great, got it. Don't want it! Thanks.
Right now, if this comes out and it's only 4 shows, that's 75% of their male lead. They got one that's going to have...
Doesn't matter. We're not obsessed with gender. We're obsessed with the agenda.
Happen to be a female lead one. Deal with it and just move on. So can we move on?
No, we don't have to deal with it. Do you know why we don't have to deal with it, John? Because we're the ones who open up the wallets that get the cash out to pay for it. And if we don't like it, we don't do it. And then you have a mess that you had with the last trilogy where people stop purchasing.
Move on from that. Thank you.
You're going to be a little surprised about what I have to say, though.
Here we go.
I really, really loathe the descriptor of female-led, you know, because here's why.
Great start. This person, this is Aaron, who's going to pwn the shite out of John Campea, understands what people are frustrated about. She doesn't have to be on our side. She understands, though, where we're coming from. I
love the idea of a predominantly female cast. I think it's fantastic. But my problem is, why are you only releasing the fact that it's a female-centric show?
Exactly. Exactly. This person came on board clearly with an agenda. That's the agenda they've released. We're doing another Amazeballs female-centric showsies. Oh my godsies. Anything about story, plot, character, world? No. No, because that's not important to Disney Star Wars. That's not important to these crazy people. What's important is ma representation. That's what's important to them. So you have planks of wood like Mary Sue Ray. You have planks of wood like Jen Erso, maybe. Vacuous characters with no personality whatsoever. You have terrible films like The Last Jedi, where every single male character was cucked out. The main cast was cucked out by ancillary women because of agenda. Rey cucked out Luke Skywalker because she's the bestest ever at that time, I guess. Poe cucked out by both Leia and Admiral Gender Studies for no good reason. He was right in what he was saying, and they tried to portray it as if he was wrong. He dared to question the fact that they were just going ahead and not explaining things to everybody for no reason. And her plan ended up being, let's get everybody killed, and then before I can get probably, put on trial for war crimes because I just got all my rebels killed, I'll just go and kill myself. And then Finn gets cucked out by Rose Tico, the worst character ever created. So you've established your main cast in a previous film, and in the very next one, cucked! Agenda! Not necessarily gender, agenda. Jesus.
Oh, and they're going to be doing some kung fu or whatever. Like, why say that? Like, can you read me the headline again? Except take out female-centric and just put male-centric.
Boom. Boom. This is a great point she's going to say. She's just about to say, when they pitch a film that has a male lead, they don't go, hey, we got a new project coming from Star Wars, and it's going to be male-centric. They don't say that. They never say that. There's this massive insecurity with these people behind the scenes. This huge insecurity. We're gonna push this and you better get with the program. No, because we vote with this.
Let me see.
Sorry,
here.
you weren't planning on going back to that.
I wasn't planning on going back to that shot.
You know, the point is these other shows that you talk about that are predominantly male driven, nobody says, oh, we have this upcoming series. We're not going to tell you anything about it, but it's going to be predominantly men.
Exactly. Exactly. We're interested in the show. We're interested in the world. We're interested in the characters. We're interested in what story you're going to try and tell. We don't give a shite about the gender. So when you keep saying this is going to be female-centric, this is going to be based around a bunch of female Jedi, then all you're saying to us is we have a very clear agenda. John, are you getting it now? John, are you getting it? John, are you getting it? Do you understand, John?
You want to watch? Like, that's exactly what it's saying. And like, for me, yes, I want to see shows with more women, obviously. But you don't have to say that's the selling point. Tell me.
In the last 4 or 5 years or so, woke Hollywood seems to act as if they invented women. As if they just came on the scene around about those 4 or 5 years. And now they're trying desperately hard to get them into films and TVs and movies. Whereas, since the beginning of fucking film, they have always been there, always been represented, always shown up. You've had them in major roles, minor roles, like everybody else. But they talk as if they've just been invented. They've just come onto the scene. Hey, folks, we got this brand new amazing thing they're called women. And because we all know that you're talking out of your absolute anus, we are there going, what are you going on about? Then we get told we're the man babies, we're the isthmophobes and the isms. And Erin is speaking truth.
Tell me a little bit about the story. Make me fall in love with the story. Because ultimately, if the show... ultimately, I'm going to finish that thought. Ultimately, if the show does fail, then it looks like it failed because it was female-centric.
Exactly. When your pitch is, this is going to be a new Disney Star Wars series, and it's going to be female-centrics, and then it fails... It's going to look like it failed because of your ideology. And it's your ideology that is turning people off. I think they absolutely 100% know what they're doing. I don't think they're stupid. I don't think that they're unaware. I just legitimately think they don't care. I don't think... that people like Leslie, or whatever she's called, I don't think that she's bothered about necessarily creating a good show that people would like to come to Disney Plus and subscribe to watch. I think that she, by her own words, by what we've seen by her, what we looked at her yesterday, what we've read about her, she looks like she is only interested in pushing her ideology. And so when it fails, it's going to be failing from an ideological standpoint. And it must be so frustrating to normal women, particularly in film and TV, that are like, God damn it, I just want to make good TV. And I'm being held back because of these bints here. These bints that are trying to pretend like women have just been invented. These bints that are just going around going, oh my God, this is going to be an all-females-led teensies winsies. And they're creating more problems for talented women in the industry. but we're just man babies, having a good cry, having a good whinge, because we just want sausage instead of argue, apparently, according to Campea.
Not because of a million other factors that it could have failed by. And
because, yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Aaron. Because what we tend to find, when you look at shows like, well, films, for instance, like Birds of Prey, did it fail because it was an all-female-led film? No. It failed because it was shit. It was terribly written, not particularly well acted for the most part. The characters were wasted. The villains were just farcical. Even though when you let Obi-Wan Kenobi, his name slips me at the moment, when you let him just be hamming it up on the screen, he was actually is pretty good. Probably the best part of the film. But just loads of Mary Winstead just completely wasted as the Huntress. Cassandra Cain completely wasted as a character. Black Canary. She's black because she's Black Canary. Do you get it? Just pathetic. That's why it failed. Not because it was female-led. Not because men were like, well, we're not going to go to the cinema and watch this because we want sausage. Because it was shit. And they use this ideological standpoint to mask the fact that they're shit writers. They use it to hide their complete and utter lack of experience and talent when it comes to the industry. That's what they do. People who have been granted, gifted, entitled, in their opinion, positions of great responsibility and fluffed it, and then they want to turn around and play my victim card. No. No. You set something up from an ideological standpoint. When it fails, that's what you're going to be known for.
Also, when the first news of it is female-centric, I know that there's a lot of people, not just men, but also some women, named Karen.
Sorry, Aaron, we're going to have to diverge. I think you'll find the Karens are probably in Campea's.
Who also are just
camp.
Going to be like, all right, I'm not interested in that. I'm tuning that out.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because for years now, that's what we keep hearing from companies. It's going to be a ideology. It's going to be, this is a new thing with ideology. We're coming from a position of ideology. And so people go, oh. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I'll just wait for something to come along that's fun and got good characters, regardless of colour, gender, sexuality, etc., that just wants to entertain me and make me open up my wallet and get my pay out. That's what. So yes, Erin is right. She gets it. She understands it. Campea doesn't. No. No. He just wants to play along with the rest of it. Oh, it's just my man babies crying. We want good, well thought out, well written product, regardless of gender, race, sexuality. And all we get is stupid announcements like this saying it's coming from X ideology, Y ideology, Z ideology. And you can shove it where the sun doesn't shine. So there we go. Woo! That was an interesting start to the day. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and right here on YouTube for live streaming. The links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.